See, so guys, here I am to make sure that you are hearing me out in a way that you must understand. That my voice is cracking in a way that I'm learning very quickly upon doing greater in a way that I need to go and strengthen up my voice anyway. But making sure now, since that's the case, I want to call Tickaboo. I want to call Tickaboo. And I see some nice and beautiful events coming up at the Ticketek range over here. And it's people like this just promoting these people, for example. So I understand how to get myself this way, but they're promoting themselves at the Olympic Park and all this. And that's the newest promotion today. Now, the newest promotion is how they do it at Ticketek. So what I need to do is if I do this, Russia will win. Win right away. But this is where people are going to promote their events. And they're going to Ticketek. And now Ticketek is somebody who promotes these people. And what I need to do is to see the events over here. I need to see what kind of events is featuring at the Ticketek. Because guess what, Proshi, that's how you actually see, for example, Kings of Leon. I heard stories about these people. That's a band, for example. And they're promoting tickets. Proshi, since they're promoting tickets, yeah, Proshi, they've been in the band for 20 years. I mean, you can see they've been touring over 10 years. I mean, they have 8 albums. And you can see straight away how they are. So straight away, these guys are great. I mean, they're greatness, Rush. I can promote these people. When they're different, and I understand that. So they're in Hyde Park. I can put them down as greatness because I feel they're great. Now, anyway, I'll make sure you understand the Kings. I say the Kings of Leon. I love that. First, now, what I need to do is always see, any kind of tour dates or something. I want to see these tour dates. So if you're always promoting different aspects of life differently, you can always see different aspects of where they are on the line. So when they're promoting, or else when you're promoting around Australia, you can go on Ticketek, and Ticketek can book these events for you. And they're the bookings. So how is Kings of Leon actually promoting themselves here? For sure, all they do is on the 26th of March, they go to New South Wales in Sydney at the Kudos Bank Arena. And that's on 2022. In 2022. So that's coming up. And then in the 29th of March, they're at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre in 2022. And then Friday 1st in 2022, they're at the Sidney Myer Music Bowl in Melbourne, Victoria. And then on the 4th of April 2022, and that's 2021, which then they go to Adelaide Entertainment Centre in South Australia. Which now these are some centres over here. I understand I can really go to these places as well to promote my DJing. Which I can promote my life coaching here as well. So this is something I can do too. So that's exactly what I do now. So as a life coach, I can do this right now. And what do I do now? I have to make the event. I have to call them. I have to make sure either way that I have to have money behind me. I have to have more money to do these events. So what am I doing now? I'm looking at the information of event information. I'm looking to create events around people. And I have to get the information behind everything. But if you get the specific information you need, then you're successful. Now, what I need to do is I'm filing for more bank information. I'm filing for more real estate information as well. I'm filing for all types of information that I need. And also event information and link information. So I already see that all I need to do, really, is Ticketek around Australia every year, eventually. I can see that now. Because these people are going to the RAC Arena as well in Perth, Western Australia. So I want to go exactly where they're going. Exactly. The Sidney Myer Music Bowl. Which that was where the nice and beautiful Marlo went to play his DJing event there. And I can play my DJing events over here. I can do this twice a year. And guess what? A person that can do it once a year, I can do it twice a year. I mean, why? I can do it 3 times a year. I can do it 3 times a year. I mean, why? I can promote comedy shows too. I can promote singing events. I can promote also life coaching events. And I can promote DJing events. I can do it 4 times a year. I can be in Australia 4 times a year. I can make, let's say over here, let's say over there. Right now, what I want to do is I just want to see this. There's 5 events around Australia. Which I can do 20 events around Australia per year. Whereas now, if that's something that I want to do, why not? Why not? Now, this is something that's much more talent. I mean, I'm much more talent. I can sing on the events. I can do singing. I can do screenplays. I can do acting in front of people. I can do fighting combos. I can do breakdancing. I can do dancing. I can do whatever you want me to do. I have at least 8 ways I can be at these events, promoting in front of people. So that's about 40 events per year I could do and more. Alright, either way, since I understand that, I understand now, I just want to go and write a number down. I write this number down very quickly. Alright, 40 times 72. I have more than that, but what I do is I write the number down in SXP. I save money here, and I just write in my statistics, which is my SXP, I write 2880. I save $2,880, which is 2,880 events I can make around Australia over 72 years. Either way, Ticketek believe they're so good that they never have to speak to you. And that's how it is. I mean, what you do now is a little bit that way, move on. Whereas now, I understand that Jesus Christ does the same thing, but he never wants to speak physical words to you today because he's gone somewhere today, but he speaks to you in the spiritual realm of his Bible. Understand? But that's different. Or it is. But that's how it is. Which now what you do is, now since I understand that, I understand now I have a better gateway into what I need to do for my events. I can write my events now into my events pages every year. I write some notes down. I say Australian events. Of course, these are the main events over here, but there's also Opera House. So I see Australian events over here. I see the Opera House as well. I say Opera House in Australia. I see Opera House. I have to write myself these events because this is where I can go. Now I can make more events over here. I see the Kudos. I got ANZ Stadium. I see I have ANZ Stadium. I see the Kudos Bank Arena. I'm never losing my voice, guys. Making sure you understand. I'm doing the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. Thank you. I'm listening to what Jesus Christ is saying always. I'm doing the Sydney Maya. Music Bowl. I'm also doing Adelaide Entertainment Centre. I'm doing the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. I'm also doing the Rack Arena in Perth. And also, I just write the cities of where they are as well. So I'll say Perth is Rack Arena. I say Adelaide Entertainment Centre is South Australia. I see South Australia as a state, guys. So there's New South Wales and South Australia and Northern Territory and Western Australia and Victoria. And there's Queensland. I see the Sydney Maya Music Bowl is in Melbourne, Victoria. I see Melbourne, Victoria. And the Brisbane Entertainment Centre is in Queensland. I see the Kudos Back Arena is in Sydney. I see the Kudos Back Arena is in Sydney, New South Wales. And the Opera House is in Sydney, New South Wales. Otherwise, these are stadiums. These are the main arenas. And anyway, that's that. Now, I understand either way. I see Elton John didn't go to the casino in Cairns over there. But what I can do over there, I can do my comedy events over there. I can do some singing events over there. That's that. I can see that. Now, I understand anyway, that since I gave you the information. Whereas these are the main events over here. Whereas now, these events where the Kings of Leon going, I can do all my events. They're the biggest events in Australia that I can do. And festivals is something on the side where they call me on those festivals. Festivals on the side where they call me. Whereas either way, well, that's different. Success resources is different than success resources when they call me. I say when they call me, first they'll call me. Either way. What do I do now? Now from this point, I'm moving forward, but I can create more events than that. I can always create more events. But I move on in different ways. I'm making sure always that I focus upon learning something new. I'm making sure I can see these different events going on. I can see tour dates in different areas of life. I can see they have early entry inclusions and hot seat inclusions as well with Ticketek. I see the Horde and Pavilion. I can get all my event structures from Ticketek. I can see exactly where I need to go. The Horde and Pavilion is something new. I say yes. I realize now. That's a different approach. Now I should put Horde and Pavilion. So I put Horde and Pavilion here. I don't want to forget. I say that's where I was for Project Zero. With Marlo. So Horde and Pavilion. I say Horde and Pavilion. Say Pavilion. Now, or as now, is it double L? Or it's just one L? I see Pavilion has one Larry in it. I see Pavilion starts with Pavle, and Pavilion goes with Pavle into I, into Leon. Or as Pavilion goes into Pavle, into I, into Lion, to make Pavilion. And that's how I spell. Or as Horde Pavilion, and Margaret Court Arena. Or as what can you do? Whereas either way, whereas these people, in terms of whatever's happening over here, is a 3D graphics events, in terms of events of something that's happening. And then make a little events over there at the Margaret Court Arena. And now I want to see exactly what that is, because maybe I may be able to do something over here. And I want to see there's some kind of powerhouse group from New Zealand. They're coming to the Margaret Court Arena. And since I understand that, I realize I'm just looking for event information about what they're doing, about shows and attendance and everything. But since it's just Danny Milivojevic, I get the most success. Danny Milivojevic gets more success than Satsa Brothers and anybody else that's never solo. So for example, me and Tony Robbins is solo people. We go make events just around us. Whereas now Danny Milivojevic makes events just around Danny Milivojevic, and that's it. Whereas Satsa Brothers makes events around 2 people. Tony Robbins makes events only around Tony Robbins. You understand? I'm solo always. I understand. That's how I do life. Whereas now, if you want to go and do something great for yourself, then always be reading upon what's happening. Whereas now, Pink is somebody of a singer that I can promote. Pink, she's a singer. Whereas I'll promote her as well. Make sure I can see where she is over here. And make sure anytime now, I just do something greater. I say Pink, the singer. I want to see her real name I mean, Pink is a real name. But since I'm understanding that, I understand anyway. I want to promote people, so I have to do I first. But I first is promotion of everybody. Promotion now, no. Promotion what I do now is I have to write it down. Promotion now, that's I have to write it down. So Pink, the singer. So Pink is right here. I mean, Pink is an American singer, and now she's 41 years of age. I realize although her name is Alicia Beth Moore. Right now, I just promote her. I say Alicia. I say Alicia Beth Moore is Pink. Right now, either way, she may be the one who sings White Flag. Right now, there's so many ways to just do great, but I want to see who sings the White Flag song. I see White Flag. I see that's Dido. Dido is somebody different, but she's successful and she's somebody great to me. So promote Dido. Dido is her full name. I see no, I'll give her full name. I want to see what her name is fully. I want to see Dido. I see she's a singer-song. I see she's a singer-songwriter. Her name is Florian Cloud D. Bonnevial. I see Bonnevial. I see a little bit. I see she's 49 years of age. A little bit. I promote her. I see Dido. I'm getting this notion that I'm succeeding in different ways now. I can see some people coming to my event. I'll move up. Or else I want to make sure I'm doing greater. And I'm practicing now, just speaking more in front of you to do greater and greater and greater, because I understand I deserve money. I deserve greater. But guess what? Probably just like that. Probably God can never do it without humanity. Understand? But God can do anything. God can do it without humanity. But then God never has humanity. You understand? Probably then God says, hey, I want humanity around me. Probably that's the way it is. I see no evil. I see now all the time how I feel. I see the movie See No Evil, for example. Or she must never see evil in life. Or that's why I agree with the film. I agree with everything. Anyway, I want to see that individual from the Nice and Beautiful film. Right now, what film is that? I see some film. I see some guy. What's his name? I say Mini-Me. I say, what's his name? I say Mini-Me. I say, that's some kind of film. I see Austin Powers, man. I say Mini-Me, man. Whereas this guy, great. What's his name? I see Dr. Evil. I see Dr. Evil, man. I see Vernia. I see Vernay Troy. I see Vernay Troy. I want to promote him. I see Vernay. I see Vernay. Apparently he deserves it. I see Vernay Troyer. There's some other people I've yet to meet in life, but guess what? Apparently that's how it goes. See, here's the guy who plays in Austin Powers, the Mini-Me. We go and see the guy who's a shorty, and he's a midget, and he plays Mini-Me. And the creator is Mike Myers. They made they made a film around Mike Myers. And now Austin Powers is over here. Now Austin Powers is they base Austin Powers on James Bond. It's a funny film. This film is so funny. So what I want to do is let it be, but I want to understand the people interested. The actor Mike Myers is the creator of the film Austin Powers. And Mike Myers, right now, I promise you, is the Halloween guy. Michael Myers is the Halloween guy. And he plays a killer as well. I understand that. Brush now, is it true that I'm never a killer? Brush, although I understand it just relates here and there. Brush, although it's Michael John Myers. I see Michael John Myers is Michael Myers. Brush, he's very famous. Brush, this guy's very good. Brush, now, anyway, Brush, Michael Myers. I don't know, Brush, now, people could promote him. Brush, now, he stars in many films, in Wayne's World, and he's doing a lot of Austin Powers films back in the days. And these days, he's doing much more different aspects of whatever is happening. But make sure you're always promoting yourself, and he's always starring. Of course, he stars in a Shrek film as well. But if you're just learning very quickly upon people, you see he's always, of course, he has all different films as well. So you're always looking for that nice and beautiful attitude of life. So if I go Michael Myers in terms of the Halloween, so Halloween film. The Halloween film, there's many of them. I mean, how many is that? I realize there's around 6. I find much more than that. But I understand that's many films. If there's only 6 films and you say 5 films is many, although in that scenario, you can do more. But if you're in a series of 5 films and you understand it's the 3rd film, I mean, guess what? The 3rd film from that 5 series is many films. Do you understand that? I mean, although you can do more, I want to see the Halloween film. Now, why? I mean, why not go to Halloween film? I want to see the cast. I want to see who's filming this, and I want to see who is making these films. Whereas there's films over here about Halloween, it's more how there is. This film did start in 1978. The Halloween film did start in 1978. The most recent film is coming out in 2022. Somebody is promoting a lot of Halloween over here. Unfortunately, the film is about killing people on Halloween. So what are they promoting? When they're promoting people to kill. When they're promoting killers out there. I mean, that's something you have to promote. I mean, guess what though? Guess what? I mean, does Jesus Christ promote killers? Jesus Christ promotes everybody. That's why you can. I realize although, what you need to do daily is focus on something new for yourself, so you can see straight away how you can do something greater for yourself in different ways, so you can understand what you need to do. But I realize how much time that I did waste watching those films. I never again watch those films because I have better to do. And now I understand the Halloween film actors. When I say the actors, because it's much more how there's always these different actors about Halloween films. I realize now the Michael Myers guy is the Tyler Mane. I mean, Tyler Mane is Michael Myers. Whereas now that's the information I want. Whereas now everybody else is different. Whereas now there's only one guy who stars at. Whereas now there's another guy here. Whereas another guy who stars at Michael Myers is Tony Moran. Whereas there's 2 of them. Whereas there's also another guy which is Nick Castle. Whereas Nick Castle as well stars as Michael Myers. Whereas there's 3 of them. I mean, throughout time. I mean, either way. What I can do is I can say another guy as well, which is Michael Myers, which is Brad Lorry. And that's 4 of them. And 4 people did star as Michael Myers. I mean, there you go. But Austin Powers, in terms of Michael Myers, the real actor of Michael Myers, but she's now in the Halloween film. And now, that's the thing. That's the information I'm looking for. That's been in my head to solve that question, man. You understand? So what I want to do, that since my voice is cracking, I have to keep talking. I have to keep talking differently. But since I'm actually doing great, I'm doing greater. I mean, you can click on the actor to see exactly what kind of films they were starring in. And this Tory Lane was starring in some films around here. And I could see it, but he's more in the back somewhere. I mean, he's been in the X-Men. I mean, he's been in the X-Men films and Playing with Fire. And now, anyway, Troy as well is something I recognize. I see Compound Fracture and Penance Lane. I mean, there's some other films. When I see this, it's all like these nice and beautiful films. But guess what? Well, she's been in the different Joe Dirt films as well, and also with Goldberg in the Checkpoint. But I just recognize him now. I mean, why is that? Because he's always behind the scenes, man. I mean, he's behind the scenes. I let him be. I let him be. But he's starring. I mean, he's starring in all these films, but I let him be. Whereas all that, guess what? Whereas now I understand anyway. I can see who the new guy is. Whereas now that's one of them. Whereas Brad Laurie is something different. Whereas I want to see what kind of films he was starring in. But he was Halloween in 2002. Whereas he's the 2002 guy. Anyway, with Tyler Mane. This guy did start in 2007, 2009. So he came after. And then let it be. And that's all I do is I just do something great on now. I want to see anyway these other guys really quickly. To just understand who is the newest guy who's promoting themselves as Halloween. So this guy over here, which is Chris Durand, he's promoting around Halloween in 1998 and he's promoting around 1998 and 2002 film with Chris Durand in the Halloween film. And he goes around other films, but he's always in the back scene somewhere. I'm just looking for more information about what's happening. And the whole point is just teaching you anyway about what's going on. So if you want to understand how names pop up when you're the main character of the film and people can see your face. See, Tyra Banks is somebody famous. I want to promote her. See, Tyra Banks. Now, Tyra Banks stars in many films as well. I'll promote her. I see Paul Rudd as well as somebody I recognize that's good. I see Paul Rudd. I see all these actors, for example. I see Tony Moran. I see where this guy's actually promoting himself. This Tony Moran is 1978 guy. He starts in 1978. He's the first film guy. That's Tony Moran. Now, I let it be. Now, that's something great, isn't it? All day, yeah. Now, why is that? Or is it because he is the first Michael Myers? Or she is the first Michael Myers. Understand? Alright, now what I need to do is calm down my voice a bit. I need to make sure I'm speaking up more. But making sure I'm really working out my throat over here. And because I'm working out my throat, I understand that what's important is Jesus Christ says keep going to the point of where the voice hurts so much that I have to be silent. And then guess what happens? Then I make a new voice come true. You understand? That's the whole point. So I want to promote Tony Moran because this guy is different. And this guy is different because guess what? He is the first guy of Halloween. I'm first always. I understand that he's the first in the Halloween film. I don't be. But he stars in different films over here. I mean, he's starring in different films. And I see they're exchanging people's services over here with the Halloween film. And why is that? I have no idea, but whereas it's much more how, if that's the case, then it's much more how they never come into agreement. Whereas anyway, and since I do greater, I'll make sure I just see the other guy quickly. This is Nick Castle. But I'm getting more information about what's happening. And now this is the 2018 guy. Russia, I was watching this guy recently. Russia, although I understand this guy recently, I was watching him. And anyway, I realized now, since I understand that the new actor may be Nick Castle in the actual Halloween film, because he's the most recent one. I mean, he's the most recent one now. So it may be something, I mean, it may be somebody new as well. So that's something yet to see. Whereas although he's in new films as well here, and he starts in new films over here, and he starts in the film The Halloween in 2006 as well. Whereas although now, since I'm understanding that there's always new films coming around, I'm looking for different information over here. And if you find, of course, if you ask, you shall receive what you want. So what you want is something more. I mean, more greatness, always. I mean, always more greatness. I never hate you. I understand all that. I make sure, I love everything. I see Jamie Lee Curtis is very famous. I see Jamie Lee Curtis. Although, I mean, she's very sexy when she was younger. And I understand that. Although now, I realize now she's actually, I mean, is she older? Apparently, I could say, yeah, she's getting older. But when she was younger, apparently she's so sexy. I mean, go see images. Apparently, she's sexy now too as an old woman. But her photos before are different. I mean, she's so different before. I mean, she's changing. I mean, she stars in a film with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, she's so sexy in that film. I mean, that's how I understand. I mean, there she is. And she's so beautiful when she's young. And that's how it is, huh? I mean, she's still beautiful, but I mean, the younger looking age of her is so sexy. Whereas now I want to see a younger look. I mean, just that kind of day, isn't it? I mean, just looking at her over here to just show you the differences over here. To make sure that I'll show you something I'm exposing about myself here over here. I'm showing some different part of me over here that's different. And because I'm exposing a different part of me, I'm exposing the nice and beautiful empathy toward other people in different ways. But that's the thing. I mean, bring it to the spotlight more and more. And then you're exposing yourself in another sense right away. And if you can do that more and more, I mean, that's bringing yourself into the spotlight. And that's what I mean. So anyway, I realize that when you do that, guess what happens? I love that. Personally, now you're much more. I did unlock some potential here. And that's what I need to do always. Personally, now, I understand many people go searching around nude photos of people. Whereas now, I want to see Jamie Lee Curtis younger nude. I want to see, does she promote herself as nude? And she does. Well, you can see her boobs. You can see her boobs in the younger age. I mean, that's different, isn't it? I mean, she's having sex as well with some guy. I mean, that's so attractive, isn't it? I can see an attractiveness here. I mean, you can see her, and you can see her pussy too. And you can see her genitals. And you can see her vagina. And that's what, I mean, the vagina is the pussy. And that's what people say it. Or also, is that attractive? A person is so attractive. But guess what? Every single day, just understand that she's on acting screens as well and doing it. Understand? But that's the thing. I mean, as soon as you expose yourself totally, I mean, people can see exactly how you are. And some guy puts an old face in a young body kind of fashion. So what I do is, I'm always learning something new. I'm making sure that no matter what, I learn differences of whatever it is about life. But it's never, let's say, anything to be sexual about in a way of physicality, is what I mean. But why? Rushing out, if you want to make a kid with her, Rushing, it's much more, why not? So that's something new. By making sure you understand. If you're promoting yourself and other people, then you're just looking to see different acts of courage, with yourself in different ways, and you're just looking to see what exactly is going on. Or you're making sure that you can see different aspects of life that's different always. And making sure always to just improve upon yourself differently. You can see how people are imitating her and trying to, they're lying. They're trying to lie about it. It's people that hate her. People that hate her promote her as fake. I don't lie. I can see it straight away. So anyway, just make sure that you're learning very quickly that they're just jealous. And people who are promoting other people as fake are jealous. Do that to women. Like, for example, you look at a sexy woman who's very famous, and then they put their face as a pornography type of face. And they're fake people. They're people that are jealous, or they're jealous people. Or either way, that's nice and beautiful where you understand it's just the role modeling of being able to be around certain aspects of life where you just understand, you accept it, and you just keep going for it. And then you're expressing your words with that in the audio version. And that's why people make pornography videos. But if you're doing audio content of leadership while doing it, which now, guess what? Which that's the biggest what? Which is the biggest what? Which is the biggest way to understand how to express yourself. You understand? But is that success versus success? How is it success? Versus success through talking. How about the physical realm? When the physical realm is disgusting. Is it really? Versus beautiful. Versus everything is beautiful. Versus now, what is the truth over here? Versus the truth, that's it. Versus the truth that Jesus Christ says over here is Jesus Christ shows you, if you see that, versus God says it's beautiful. But Jesus Christ says that's it. That's nothing else but beautiful. But then Jesus Christ says that many people dislike that. And many people are very, very stingy upon, let's say, helping you to grow in different ways. But if you shall succeed, then open up about everything. And then just understand to keep going and expand the truth with that pronunciation to see that other people are doing any criminal activity in different ways to hide themselves from the truth of the spotlight in ways that they're never growing. They're never trying to grow in the spotlight, is what that is. And then they're also making sure that they never do anything to help themselves. So when you help yourself, then it looks like that it may be evil, but it's never evil. But they're confusing themselves in ways that they believe that it's just never for them because they believe it's evil. And that's what that is. I see now anyway that if you see just the world is good, then you promote yourself differently. But also, I was a bit more aware as well. And then you understand anyway that Jesus Christ is saying that since you understand that, which there's also more upon something that you understand, that you let it go, and you forgive, and go back to the word I. And that's all. Which that's all. I'm very sure that when you understand anything about life, that you're just learning about different people. If you want to talk about them, then go and talk about them always. But that's the thing. The thing is being able to treasure yourself, helping yourself, doing it with a woman or a man where they just accept you doing it. And that's different then. And that's the words you want to express. And the words of expression is helping you. But it's like criminal activity if you feel that somebody's trying to kill you in a way that they're trying to take something away from you. Well, you're just looking at images. You understand? So make sure they understand that you're trying here to go for a spotlight of trying to get there, is what you're trying to say. I actually see that now. So anyway, it's much more how I understand that it's just difference. The difference of life over here. The difference of life is different modules. It's all different when they accept you for who you are. And they accept you already, but anyway, move on. I love it. Roshi, it's just how it feels. Roshi, what you need to do is promote yourself differently, and then just make sure you're looking at different aspects of life. And that's why images are helping you to give a story for yourself in different ways. If you're always looking at porn images, guess what happens if you look at porn images? Then if you look at porn images and you're expressing yourself more and more through everything that's happening, Actually, it's more acceptance they're talking about. You're making sure that you can always suss out something different, and you can see stories about people, and that's what you're talking about. I mean, you're talking about different stories, but it's more how they never want you. I mean, they never want you. I mean, they want somebody else, and that's rejection. And rejection of what? I mean, rejection of your word I, and that's what that is. I mean, in a sense. So, if you understand anything, if you're just going to look at images and talk all day, then guess what happens? I mean, then you understand straight away to look for your event page. Now, the event page is something different. So I'm understanding that like about that. Go and just do that now. So what I want to do is I want to see Ticketek. Now, as I see Ticketek, I'm making sure I want to see the event pages. And the event pages is something different. It's more where people are making their music. And now I see Guns N' Roses are coming over here. I see Guns N' Roses. Approaching they're a rock band. And they're still going strong. I mean, they're in different places. They're coming up as well. I can see always to check daily about Ticketek and what's happening around events around me. Daily in Sydney or wherever I am. And that way I understand Ticketek Australia is something different, but Ticketek is more Australian than anything else. Or should I see that? I can see now there's other nice and beautiful ways over here where I can make an event somewhere else. I see Optus Stadium. I see different pages over here. And that's the thing. I can go MCG as well. Whereas now, since I understand that, is actually opening up more information for me. So I understand, anyway, these are my Australian events where I can go. I see Adelaide. I see Adelaide Oval. I see Adelaide Oval in South Australia. I see Adelaide Oval in South Australia. I'm just expanding my context, which is the words. And that's what Robert Kiyosaki says to do. Because he says, the only way to get riches is to go spiritual. That's approach the best way. I approach it the same thing I say, which is Jesus Christ. That's the best way you can get rich. I say now I see the Metricon Stadium is in Gold Coast. I see Metricon Stadium. That's the first time I heard that one. I see Metricon Stadium. I can do this all alone, Jesus Christ says. I'll do this all alone. Or let it be, I'll do it with Jesus Christ. I see Metricon Stadium in the Gold Coast. See, that's a Gold Coast, Queensland. Now Gold Coast is in Queensland. I see the Melbourne Cricket Ground as well. I can make more events now. See Melbourne Cricket. I see Melbourne Cricket Ground, which is MCG. I see the Melbourne Cricket Ground is MCG in Australia. I see MCG is in Victoria. I see just Melbourne, Victoria. I see Victoria is in Melbourne. And then you're learning very quickly how you are doing your life. And then I'm learning very quickly. And God speaks through you. I see Stadium Australia is in Sydney, New South Wales. I see there's a Stadium Australia. I see there's also ANZ Stadium. I see ANZ Stadium. I see Sydney Showground. Which there's all these people in terms of life where they're promoting me, but they hate me. Move on. I love life. I say Sydney, Australia. I say Sydney, New South Wales. I say Sydney Showground is Sydney, New South Wales. And now Suncorp Stadium is in Brisbane, Queensland. I mean, they're making events here. I say Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane, Queensland. Which eventually you have to travel overseas. And guess what happens eventually? I mean, eventually you have to come to Australia anyway. You have to go around the world and come to Australia. Go around the world and come to Australia. And you have to rotate. And eventually go to your biological parents' houses somewhere where they may be living overseas and go visit for a bit. Then go. And just keep rotating that all year long and all lifelong. There's all your lifetime. And eventually you're just in Australia. And that's how I have to be. I have to be in Australia for my, let's say, passing of life. But why is that? I mean, why? Because it's my country. It's my country, and that's it. I feel better in Australia to pass away than anywhere else. For it starts here and it ends here. That's the way. You understand? And that's what I need to do. But along the way, as I just focus on something better. I said Optus Stadium, which it never ends for me anyway. I said Optus Stadium is in Perth. I've been to Optus Stadium. And I see how recent that was. But this time, how inspirational this is. I mean, you first see the Optus Stadium for the first time outdoors. And you do some photos over there. But you never did go inside. But then you're in the stadium and you pack out the arena. And you're the main DJ or the main person there. I mean, so Optus Stadium is where I go to pack out the arena of people to watch me. But the first time I went there, I never did go inside. But the first time I go there to make an event is something you must understand. But guess what? I mean, imagine you go to Optus Stadium and you just see from the outside how it looks. But you've never been inside. But the next time you go there, you pack out the arena of people to watch you. I mean, that's what I mean, yeah? I mean, how amazing is that? I mean, now, anyway, or else that's different places. Or else now, that's a rock band. Or else now, since they're doing rock bands over here, I will do DJing events over here. I mean, simply, I will do DJ events over there. I mean, anyway. I mean, what else? I mean, let's get some more information. I mean, Telstra Stadium. There's Telstra Stadium. Telstra Stadium is ANZ's stadium. Or else now, I'll just write that down quickly. Or else now, that's the ANZ Stadium. So, ANZ Telstra Stadium. I mean, who owns Telstra? I mean, that's the government who owns Telstra. And the government owns the stadium. So guess what? I mean, they never sell you the stadium. I mean, they never stole stadiums in Russia. I mean, that's it. Russia, now that's that. Russia, they never want to sell any stadiums out there. Because otherwise you rip them off for money. And it's never that you rip them off for money. I mean, it's more how they have to come kill you then. Because you have part of their property. Russia, and that's the way it is. So never rip off anybody. But make sure you understand that, or I mean, just make sure you understand that what you do is just see always what you're doing. And just be careful always about everything you're doing. Whereas now, there's always these other stadiums where NFL, in terms of NRL, is going. But guess what, Russia, now, what you need to do now is forgive yourself about everything. Because I'm never dying. I mean, nobody's coming to kill me. Nobody's coming to kill I. But guess what? I mean, everything I said is I. Russia, now, since I said that, I'm understanding that I am always staying the truth. And now, what's up? Whereas the whole point is understanding something. It's much more how I feel. I feel there are people out there who are so good about life. They'll just move on. And the world is good. And that's the thing. I was speaking in a negative manner. I was speaking negatively. And why is that? Because that's the way it is. I mean, in a sense, and that's why I feel, how I understand straight away, if you speak negativity, then you attract it. And I said, so now I realize why. Whereas now, if you have to say anything about the Rothschilds, and say they're good. I mean, I only say they're good. And that's it. I mean, that's it. Because otherwise, if you speak anything else, then that's the worst way. Because that's the Christian version. Then just agree with everything. I mean, just accept everything, is what I'm saying. I mean, saying the world is good. Because if you say the world is evil, then guess what happens? Or then somebody can kill you. But if you say the world is good, then guess what? Or then you cancel everything out, and then you contradict everything and say the world is good, and nobody comes and kills you. You understand? Or if you disagree with the world, or if somebody then comes and kills you. But if you say everything's good, then nobody comes and kills you from the world. I mean, that's it, and that's how it is. I mean, the world is what you make of it. But that's it. I should just understand that. But now these events where these guys are going, of they're going to Blue Bet Stadium. Of course, there's a Bank West Stadium. Of course, there's all these different stadiums. I see McDonald's Park. There's a McDonald's Park Wagga Wagga. They're going Wagga Wagga over there. So they're going to Campbelltown Sports Stadium. And they're going to the Netstrata Jubal Stadium. There's different stadiums around here. And I'm looking at these different stadiums to see exactly what's happening. I see Central Coast Stadium. I see the CBUS Stadium. I see the CBUS Super Stadium. I see the GIO Stadium. Now that's different. Now those are all stadiums that I can go to. That's more parks where they can play rugby. Now, those are festival parks, are they? Now, guess what? Now, they can allow you if you want to go there. Which they can. There's other places I can go. I can go other places. I see there's also a Sex Crofts International Stadium. See, other people here are loving and admiring I see there's the Leichhardt Oval. There's Amy Park. I see Amy is an insurance company. There's what other nice and beautiful stadiums are there? Of course, they're all playing in relative stadiums. And they're all playing similar to different stadiums around town. So they're going Sydney Cricket Ground as well. I'm teaching you about Australia in 2021. I'm teaching you some history about what's going on. That's how it is in 2021. But what you do is you just keep going because this is information I need to learn right now. And anyway, I realize now with the news and all that, for sure, it's much more how it is, yeah. See Belmore Sports Ground. See what else is there. I mean, just relate everything to Jesus Christ. And that way you're learning very quickly. I mean, what else is there? I'm always looking for more information because that way I'm stronger and stronger and stronger. See, the last game of the season over here in the NRL is the Titans versus the New Zealand Warriors in 2021. And now, anyway, the NRL season finishes on the 5th of September 2021. I mean, what date is that now? It's Monday, May 3rd. So June, July, August, September. See, 4 months of NRL to go. I mean, that's useful to understand that every single year they finish NRL on the 5th of September. That's done. I can see straight away. So now anyway, I realize I love it now. Move on. And when did they start these seasons? I mean, the seasons that they start. I mean, also they have these nice beautiful promotions to say on sale soon as well with some kind of dictionary and what's happening. But other places are selling as well. I mean, other places are yet to sell as well with the NRL. I'm learning about the event structure over here with the NRL. So I'm learning something different. But the first round, I mean, when did it start? When the first round of NRL is just starting now. When it's about to start. I mean, there you go. It's round 9. I mean, it's already round 9, man. I mean, now I can go and check out Google to see exactly when NRL starts and finishes. So I can learn something quickly. So what I do now is I make sure that no matter what, I can see this now. I see NRL start. I see NRL start of the season. It's already week 9 of 25. There's only 25 weeks of NRL every year. I mean, do you understand that? I mean, that's in Australia in 2021. I mean, you always have to update yourself about that. So, já kažem doći. Já kažem ideš. Ja nema problema. Ja nema problema. Anyway, I'm looking to just see what's happening. I said, when did NRL season start in 21? It's in terms of 2021. Now, what's this, man? I see all the matches over here. I see now, here are the matches. I see week 7. I see April 22nd. because they have all these weeks. So it's all different, yeah. But I want to be aware of NRL around me. So the first game of the season today, in terms of 2021 with NRL, is the Melbourne Storm. And let's have a look at this. The Melbourne Storm and the Rabbitohs. And that was on the 11th March. So the NRL goes for, I see, from March. So we have April and May and June, July and August and September. 6 months of the year is NRL season. And that's 25 weeks. And 6 months is 25 weeks with the NRL. Anyway, 4 times 6. 4 times 6. Let's have a look. 4 times 6. 24 weeks. What's happening in the final week? And the final week is a grand final and semi-finals and all that. That's the 26th week. Understand? I realize, although a little bit that way, I understand the NRL seasons now. I realize every single year, the NRL in Australia from 2021 is starting from the 11th March to the 5th of September every year in 2021. And every single year, always. And that's it. You guys still have to update your information all the time. And either way, from now on, I can just see always what's going on around the events around me. So what I do now is go and see the ticker tick again. And why am I seeing ticker tick again? I want to see more events. I want to see what else is happening. I see 660. What's this? 660 is a rock band. I see now these people are coming out. Of course, you can always read their buy tickets as well to see who they are. And you can see how great they are as well by the information they give. And then you just let it be that way. So what you do is you just realize all the time that if you want to do something nice and beautiful, I could say these guys still have to do better. I see 66. They still have to do better for me. And they're booking 2 events only this year. That's it. And there's no bookings next year. For me, they have to do greater. And that's the case. I see the Margaret Court Arena. It's something different. See Margaret. I see the Margaret Court Arena. And now the Margaret Court Arena is a small arena of where you can go and showcase your nice and beautiful rock band. And guess what you can do there? You can DJ. Can you really though? Guess what? Probably no. Why? It's more how I see it's just a small stadium around people and you're in the center. It's just like you're on the tennis court over there. That's what it is. Approach, that's the case. And I've been to something like that, but I still have to go see Margaret Court Arena. So what I want to see about Margaret Court Arena, really, is I want to see on Google. I want to see on Google how it is. But nobody else can afford to listen to me today, except I. And they have no time for me, and that's why they're never my true friend. If I keep talking to them 24 hours of the day, they want to fucking get away from me. They're never social people. And that's what I just realized. I realized they're never social around me. The more I talk to them, guess what happens? They get so arrogant. Understand? They get violent people. Why is that? It's because they need skills of leadership. That's it. That tells me, get away from people. Never speak to them. If you get away from them, that's all they love in the world. I understand something now. I can see it. I'm much better now. I want to see Margaret Court. See, Margaret Court is a tennis player. I see she's Margaret Court. But her name is what? Hold on. She's 78 years of age. But her name is Margaret. And now she's famous. I want to see what her name really is. Is it really Margaret Court though? And Margaret Court is a tennis player. I don't know, B. I see Margaret Court is how her name is. Or so Australians did place her name as Arena. Is Margaret Court. I see that. Jesus Christ is laughing with me. I see Margaret Court. I see, yeah. It's a name. That'll be honest. That's greatness. And she has always greatness. And why? I mean, how does she have greatness? Because she has a stadium that's always going to be in Australia. And that's it. I mean, it's always going to be Margaret Court. See, Margaret Court Arena. Understand? And that's why she solidifies herself as greatness. So how do I do that? I mean, how do I do that? I can put an ice statue somewhere. Now, I've already done that online. In that sense, so that's different. But I can put an ice statue somewhere too. And that's different. I can make a memorial somewhere around myself. And that's different. Of course, that's it. Of course, that's that.